all the time, because sometimes I have all these emotions bottled up inside of me and feel like I can't share them, or I can't communicate what I want to say to other people. And living in a world like this, to connect with others, most people verbally connect with communication and conversation. And when you struggle with words, you can't say what you want to say or how you feel, and others don't know. For a long time, it felt like I spent many years looking for a best friend, somebody that I could connect with. It just got to the point where I realized, and through this channel, I don't have time for other friendships or that kind of friendship in that way, but on my own terms. I am okay not getting together with people often like friends do. I'm okay with texting a friend to feel happy. I'm so wrapped up in my hobbies anyway, I feel like I don't have time to maintain a friendship. I'm not saying I would ever choose to live a hermit lifestyle. There are times I want to spend around people, especially my family. Mainly I'm talking about my family, and then I'm content and I'm okay. But there's a lot of time I just want to be alone. But I want to end it on a positive, because I enjoy spending time to myself alone. I have made some wonderful content over the years. I've created an Etsy shop. I've made some wonderful photography art composites that I'm proud of. I've created things in my time alone that I relish. And so there are some positives there to being alone and being okay with it.
So when I was younger, back in my high school days or younger days, also growing up in church a lot, I knew I was different, but those were systems in place that forced me to be around other kids and adults. But once I graduated, I quickly realized that I didn't have the social skills to maintain those friendships. And initially I thought it was everybody else's issue, but it was me, which ended up hurting. I had a group of friends, and once I hit my 20s, it all disappeared. I drifted away from church and found myself feeling lost and lonely. Now, I'm married, but my wife has had her own issues with severe ADD, PTSD, and more. And I didn't want to burden her with my problems. So I felt alone from the age of roughly 25 to 33, 35-ish. And I struggled a lot with it. I want to be social and be around people, but every time I try, I end up weirding people out, and I don't like that. I'm almost always tired now, and I can't keep the mask on, and people can sense when something is off, and it makes them uncomfortable, and I get it. I do feel lonely, and the older I get, the more I realize how important community and being social is to humans. Mental illnesses like depression, anxiety, ASD, PTSD, etc. are kind of like predators trying to isolate us and destroy each of us. But at the same time, I feel like neurotypical people are willingly participating because they don't care enough to learn about these illnesses. And they obviously don't get taught in school about this. And I don't think it should be so one-sided, but unfortunately it is. That's my 2 cents anyways.
Hi, I'm 71 years old and was formerly diagnosed with level 1 autism this year, just before my birthday in June. So I've lived most of my life feeling like an outsider and hoping I could pull off appearing normal when I'm around people. For example, I learned long ago how to do eye contact, or at least appear like I'm doing it. Back in the 70s, a popular book came out called Body Language, and I picked up a copy and got lots of tips on how to interpret other people's body language, as well as how to look relaxed and not feel too awkward physically in social settings, like I always did, but still come off as authentic, because I hate phoniness. I had a very difficult time in the 1970s when I was in my 20s. I wasn't interested in doing or liking typical things of people in my age group. Most of my interests and passions were unusual, but I wanted to at least be accepted for the way I was. Since my diagnosis, I actually feel even more separated from the so-called neurotypical world, but at least it doesn't bother me like it used to, because now I know why I am the way I am. I have a couple old friends who are not autistic. One in particular, we've been close friends for more than 50 years. She's weird like me. We were always kindred spirits and still are, but I do feel a sort of separation from her now since my diagnosis. Even my own family, as understanding as they are, and we can even joke about my autistic traits sometimes, but I know they can't really totally understand me. This makes me sad and a little frustrated because they misunderstand or misinterpret my feelings and intentions at times. It would be great to have a live, in-person autistic friend to talk to or even just get together with once in a while. Online support groups I've looked into leave me kind of cold. There's not too much out there for a newly diagnosed old lady like me. I've never been one to join clubs or groups of any kind. I do have a great counselor, clinical psychologist, who I see twice a month. He's not autistic.
Hi, I'm Alejandro. I live in Madrid, Spain. And to answer Jenny's question, I want to say that I always felt like I haven't been living in two different worlds. Basically, this external world that sometimes full of images, sounds, interaction that I don't understand. That sometimes is scary, like is full of strange emotions. And there is my inner world, like the place I prefer to be, the place where I can be myself, the place where I can be happy, the place I can do the things I want to. All my life I had felt this disconnection between these two worlds, and I had never feel loneliness. I know I'm alone sometimes, but I don't suffer from loneliness. But sometimes it's tough to feel this disconnection from your peers, from other people. Like I simply didn't understand what's going on. I felt like real life, like the external world, was a toll that I needed to pay every day. Go to an awful day at school to be able to come back home and be with myself and be happy. So to answer your question, Jenny, I haven't been living in two worlds, but I prefer my inner world. Goodbye from Madrid.
The Web by Lisa. Caught like a fly in a spider's web, I struggle to free myself from the intricate web of confusion. Weaved inside my mind, fighting to pull myself away from the threads of sorrow, rage, fear, and uncertainty. I find myself unable to detach. I call out for help, blinded by the outer appearance. They fail to see the tangled web within. So like a fly, I surrender to the forces of the threads. Huddled in a tiny ball, I remain trapped in the intricate web of confusion weaved inside my mind. I want to say thank you to everyone who participated in this video, and it was a neat experience to see all of our answers. And if you did not get to submit a video, if you'd like to go down in the comments and put what your answer would have been to this question, and hopefully I could do another collab like this with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, would you please like, subscribe if you like content about adults on the spectrum. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.